Hello world, I'm Colleen and welcome to my glamorous life. If you don't know who I am, I'm an almost 50-year-old mom with 3 teenagers here to give you helpful tips, tricks, and some honest reviews. So tonight I'm going to show you my evening routine. So I'm going to show you how I go from this to this. Come on with me and I'll take you into my bathroom and I'll show you what I do to transform the skin. Let's get to it. So the first thing I use is the Up and Up eye makeup remover from Target, and I'm going to use about 4 cotton pads worth of this. I use 2 per eye, and I'm just going to hold it on my eye for a couple of seconds to soften my eye makeup and just gently rub that makeup off. I'm not trying to push too hard on my eye, but I really got to get it off. I find that using 2 separate cotton pads, I get my eyes a little bit cleaner. So pad number 2, this is to get that last little bit of mascara and eyeliner out of my eyelashes. There we go. Big difference, huh? All right, let's move on to the other eye. Once again, I'm not trying to push too hard, but I do have to kind of scrub the gel out of the eyebrows, but it's not too bad. This eye makeup remover is an oil-free makeup remover, but it takes even my most stubborn waterproof mascara off. And like I said, I always use 2 pads per eye just to make sure that I get the last little bit off. And a little bit more in that eye. There we go. Now I'm going to take a couple of cotton pads and my NYX Micellar water. NYX is usually my go-to brand, but every now and then I'll pick up like Garnier, just a basic micellar water. And I'm using this to start taking the makeup off my skin. And you can see when you look at the pads, there's quite a bit of makeup coming off. Next step is I take the Versed Cleansing Balm. Now I have a little metal spoon that I pull this out with. This is a melting cleansing balm. And what you do is literally rub it between your hands to melt that balm down. And then I use this, once I get it in my hands, I use this to really melt the rest of the makeup off my face. Now, this is kind of a double cleanse already because I've used the micellar water to start removing it, but this is what I really use to take it off with. Now I'm just going to take a tissue and just very gently swipe that off, kind of like a cold cream almost, but you can see on the tissue there I had quite a bit coming off already. Still all that makeup still coming off. But I really want to make sure I get the makeup off my face before I go to sleep at night. So now I'm going to use my Peach and Lily chamomile and cleanser that same one I use in the morning, and I'll link all these products down below. And with some lukewarm water, I'm just going to wash my face to really make sure that I've got the last of that cleansing balm off. There's no remnants of makeup anywhere, and my skin is nice and clean. What I really like about this cleanser and this routine in general is that it doesn't leave my skin feeling dry. My skin doesn't feel tight, which is important because of the next step. So now, once again, I always use a washcloth to remove the cleanser. So I'm just getting that wet right now. And I'm just very gently going to make sure I've got all that cleanser off. And even that little bit of cleanser has taken the rest of the makeup off. There's probably still just a little bit on my cloth. But this way my skin is nice and clean and ready for the rest of my routine. Okay, so we've now washed everything off, and now we're going to get into the treatment portion of my nighttime routine. Now, I started using this about a week ago, and I mentioned it in my last video. This is the NIRA Skincare Laser. This is the first FDA-cleared laser for at-home use to treat the fine lines around your eyes. And some people, including myself, have started using it a little bit around our mouth. I use it to treat some of my marionette lines that have been driving me insane. Now, this has a neat little USB cable, so you can plug it into the wall or your computer to charge. It has
lights, which you probably can't see because of my lighting, but it's got little LED lights right here that tell you when it's on and what it's doing. So I am going to now, I've got it set to level 3 because that's where I can tolerate it. They recommend starting at 1 and working your way up to what you can tolerate. It can be a little uncomfortable. It's not painful, but it's a little uncomfortable just because it is a laser and it's heat. So here we go. I just start at the corner of my eye. Whoops, and you can hear it. That's when it's not connected properly. It lets you know. So if I connect it properly, it gives a little beep. And then I do that all the way along my lower lid. And it's about 40 pulses per side. And they tout it'll take you 2 to 3 minutes. It just depends. The more I've used it, the more I've gotten comfortable with it, and I don't have to necessarily look at what I'm doing to see where I'm placing it as much. When I'm treating specific individual lines, I do look a little bit. Now, when I get done with this whole under eye section, you can kind of see it's got a little redness, but that goes away within like 5 minutes. I'm now going to treat my upper eyelid right along my brow bone, just on the brow bone. And this has kind of helped raise that eyebrow up a little bit, and I've got a little bit of a scar over here that I've kind of been treating too. Because what the purpose of the NIRA laser is to get down into the dermal layers and stimulate a collagen growth. And that's what happens when you age. You start losing collagen, and your skin gets lax and you start getting wrinkles. Just trying to use up the last little bit of this one. Let's see. Should be almost there. There it is. Okay, so that's the first eye. Your skin starts losing collagen the older you get, and you can take supplements which will help put more collagen in your system, but to really stimulate that collagen growth under your skin, the NIRA laser has been cleared by the FDA to do just that right around your eyes. So big old spot of mascara in the corner of my eye there, sorry. What I do is I treat my eyes every night. I have started noticing that my eyes seem not to be quite as sunken along the teardrop. It's that corner. I always said it wrong. And the closer to my eye, the thinner the skin, the more I feel it with the laser, but it's not horrible. It's just like if you've ever taken a magnifying glass when you were a little kid and held it over your hand, that initial feeling of, hey, that's warm, that's kind of what it's like to me. But when I did the 1 or the 2, I really didn't feel anything at all, which if I want to feel something, I want to feel something. Now, I'm a big fan of at-home skincare as much as possible. I'll go and I'll get injections. You know, I've done my forehead, which needs to be touched up a little bit here and there. But when I can find a good at-home device that isn't ungodly expensive, this one is on the pricey side, but I caught it on a 50% off sale, and they often have like 40% off, depending on when you catch it online. It's worth it. I mean, I'm going to be using this for quite a while. They say it takes about 60 days to notice the first effects of the laser. Though I kind of started, it's been about a week since I got it, and I have started to notice that things are not looking as sunken in right in through here. It seems to be filling up a little bit. I've felt like my eyebrows are kind of lifted just a little bit, but for full effect, you won't notice it until 60 days, 90 days, they say. Now, I do use this now twice a day. So I got it just after I filmed my morning routine the last time. And I have a couple of really deep lines right in here that I'm also treating, and those little smile lines right here that I've been treating along with my smoker's lines. Now, the FDA hasn't cleared it for this, but it's the same concept you're superheating the sublayers of the skin, which basically causes, just like microneedling, micro injury to the skin and triggers that collagen growth, which helps tighten and make the skin seem a little more youthful. Here, I kind of have to look in the mirror a little bit because I want to run this right along that spot. There it is. Oh, I feel like my nose is starting to run on me. It's not. I have kind of noticed that the one line on this side down here does seem like it's a little softer. Anything that gets rid of those lines, I'm happy with. Even if it's just a little bit. A couple right there. And then I'm going to go right. Whoops, missed. It lets you know if it's not lined up right, it's not going to let you fire properly. So typically I do just an extra run like that. That's 3 cycles, once around my mouth and once around each eye. Now I'm going to move on to my Inkey Collagen Booster. Once again, this is with that Matrix Cell 3000. That's going to help boost that collagen production. I can say collagen. Boost that collagen production just a little bit. Right there. I'm just going to press that in. And I have noticed that my cheeks feel like they're much plumper since I started using this stuff, which is kind of nice. Now I'm going to go in with the Hylamide SubQ Skin from the Abnormal Company. I use this morning and night as my kind of hydrating serum. Now, before I put on my final moisturizer, I'm going to go in with the Versed Press Restart. This is their Gentle Retinol Serum. I don't use this every day, only because my skin doesn't always like it. So I use it 2 to 3 times a week. And I just kind of go in, gently pressing it in. I do it after I put the SubQ skin on, only because I want that hydration in there before I put the retinol on. Otherwise, my skin's going to really get angry with me. Now, because I'm doing a full kind of, this is my routine, I got this in one of my BoxyCharm, I believe. It's either BoxyCharm or Ipsy, because I have both. But this is, my dirty lid here. This is the Elemis Peptide for Pillow Plumping Facial. And they call it like an overnight mask. Truthfully, it's just a really rich night cream. And I'll take a pretty good quantity of it here. You can see right there. And oop, it's the other nice thing about the NIRA, it shuts itself off if you forget it. Just shut itself off. And I just pat that in all around, especially around my eyes. And once again, don't need extra night cream. And then the last thing I do before I go to bed, which you see all the time, is that Kosas Sport Hyaluronic Lip Balm, but I didn't bring it out to the studio with me. So I will go back to my bedroom and I'll put that on before I crash for the night. And that is my nighttime routine. It is literally a triple cleanse, if you will. I take the bulk of my eye makeup and that start off. Then I take the balm and take that off. And then I actually do cleanse further. For me, this works great. Now, I tend to use hydrating things to do this with. I have the hydrating cleanser, and then I put all this extra moisture back on my skin. I don't let my skin get dried out. Even having washed my face basically 3 times to clean all the makeup off, my skin didn't feel tight. And that's important. You don't want your skin to feel tight and dried out when you first wash it, because that's a signal that you've basically stripped that necessary oil layer off your skin. You want your skin to still feel soft. I mean, I felt like I needed some moisture in my face, but it didn't feel like I was dry. You know, it didn't feel like somebody was pulling on my skin or it was tight. It just felt normal skin. And then I always add extra moisture at night, especially which is why I wash my face in the morning, because when I add all this extra moisture on and you sleep with a pillow, which I sleep with a satin pillowcase, it does leave your skin a little bit more, I guess you pick up a few more things. You know, I got cats that sleep in my bed with me, so I pick up cat fur and, you know, stuff like that that you pick up off your pillow, or your own skin cells. So I just feel like I want to be clean in the morning, so I wash my face morning and night. So that's it for today, and I'm not sure what this Friday's going to be. I'm cooking something up. We'll have another little short makeup tutorial or review of some sort coming up. And if you have any suggestions or anything you want to see, pop it in those comments down below, and I look forward to hearing from you. In the meantime, ta-ta!